Welcome back, you guys. I'm Tassie, and this is my Go Sleep Day vlogs. So we're gonna go into this vlog here about a lot of questions. My goodness. So recently, you guys, I've gotten tons of messages. Like my emails, I've gotten hundreds of emails. I can't respond to everybody. I hardly have time to make videos as it is. So I was asked, and it's kind of funny because around the same time, everybody asks me the same kind of questions. So that's what we're going to go into. In this video, I was asked about spirits and electronics. And then a lot of people had questions about ways to cleanse or try and protect oneself. So we'll go into that in this video. My next video, which I have planned for next week, it's going to be about another question everybody's been asking me, which is about teachers and advice. So we'll talk about that next week. Oh, and before we move on, I feel like I have to do these disclaimers now because people don't watch my other videos and they just jump in. And for some reason, when I started making these videos, I didn't think about that people would just jump in at certain points and I just totally slipped my mind. But anyways, I am no longer a practicing shaman. I cannot offer you any shaman services. Any questions that is really specific to yourself, your dreams, things that have happened to you, anything like that, any random questions you might have, I can't offer those services for you. Definitely go and seek out a shaman, you guys. And I've mentioned this in my other video. There's like a Facebook group of shamans. You guys can reach out to them. I don't really know what they do on there, but I swear one day I'm finally going to go and look for them on Facebook. Anyways, I'm not somebody who keeps up with religion. I don't like research it. I don't YouTube or Google it. So I can't offer you any services, but I've gotten so many messages. All right, so about the questions with spirits and electronics, and somebody just today had asked me about if it was true to confirm because she had heard from somebody else that told her that spirits can communicate through people's phones and stuff like that. They can. Okay. I have had a lot of experience in it. So if you guys remember in my tarot card episode, I had mentioned a long time ago before I became a shaman, I was doing tarot cards. And I would do tarot cards for people who I knew, but it was people they knew because I needed people to practice on. They were my guinea pigs, basically. And I communicated to them all online because I didn't know who they were. I just needed people to practice asking questions. So anyways, but my guides actually were keying everything. They see all the words. They read everything I'm reading. They hear everything I'm thinking. They can also hear people around me. They can follow people and hear what they're saying to you guys. It is very, very possible. Also, something you'll also notice, those of you who watch on their phones, my videos, if you guys have weird things that happen, it's not me, okay? It's actually your own guides that's doing it. So when I was becoming a shaman, I remember I would be like texting my friends or texting my family about stuff. My phone would die like that. Or my phone would just shut off. It would completely freeze. And a lot of times my phone I can't remember what video was this, but anyways, there was a video about me how I always sleepwalk and all that stuff and I sleep talk. So there was a period of time when I was dating my boyfriend now, and every single night I would get up in the middle of the night because my phone would buzz. And then I would be on my phone and my boyfriend would ask me, like, oh, what am I doing? And I would respond to him. And then I would put my phone down eventually and I would fall asleep. So I was apparently doing that for months, like months. And then one day my boyfriend, we were having lunch and he just mentioned something. And I was like, what? Because I didn't know I was doing it. And it completely freaked me out. But anyways, so my guides were always, and the thing is, because my phone's buzzing, so there had to be some kind of notification that hit my phone during that time, right? But there was nothing through my phone that came in around those times in the middle of the night. Not even an email, you guys. So it was really weird. And my boyfriend kept watching me to see if I would keep doing it and stuff like that. So and if I ever am up, he would like shake me now, like to make sure I'm really awake, that I'm not just sleep talking back to him. But yeah, so it is completely possible. Your guides can block messages. They can send messages for you. It's no joke. Same thing with anybody who's ever done ghost hunting. So in my earlier episodes, I talked about when I was doing ghost hunting. That's right. I did ghost hunting. might seem kind of weird to people. None of my friends would go ghost hunting with me because they were too afraid. Like, okay, like I get afraid easily too, but for me, my whole point of it was to experience it. And this was like just something completely different I've never done before. I really wanted to try it out. Yeah, I was scared, but I really wanted to try it out. So the whole point of ghost hunting, for anybody who doesn't know, it is to try and capture evidence that they actually exist. And in some of my videos, there is always this woman who likes to be on camera. She will like breathe or she'll say things into my camera. So if you guys listen to my videos carefully, you may catch her every now and then. You better not. Okay, like, anyways, she was just trying to come by. So that is true about spirits and electronics. It's absolutely true. With ghost hunting, they do this thing where they have a flashlight theory and the ghost answers. It literally will turn it on and off based off of what you say. And, you know, they have like all these, I don't know the technical terms, that's why. It's like infrared cameras where they can see like body temperatures, and like I've seen where one person, like you're looking at them on this machine and they have the regular temperature of a human body, but then all of a sudden half of their body goes completely cold. It's cold. And they can feel their body being really cold too, and you capture it. So yeah, that's what the whole theory is. Now, for those who are into ghost hunting, I'm going to tell you guys a trick. So there are a lot of people who are holier than thou, don't believe in nobody but themselves. So I'm going to tell you guys, because I know a lot of people like this. They will purposely hunt for ghosts because they need to see it with their naked eye. Okay? So the trick to seeing a ghost, if you really, really want to, and this ain't no looking underneath dogs' legs, okay? So I was, okay, totally off subject, but I watched PMOC, that Thai movie on Netflix. Friggin' hilarious. I laughed until I cried, you guys. It was so friggin' funny. But like, I don't know if Thai people believe this, that if you bend upside down and you look through your legs, you could see a ghost. Anyways, I don't believe in that theory. Only because, you know, I've done yoga and that's not real. So, the trick to seeing a ghost. You need to calm your mind. That is the trick to seeing ghosts. And this is, I'm going to give you as an example, okay? So like somebody I know who's close to me always tries looking for ghosts. You're not going to see it when you're like super excited. You're super excited. You're purposely like, come on out, okay? Like it ain't going to come out. So the trick to it, and this is like what actually happens to me all the time, and this is why I'm always seeing them, is because I am busy. I am preoccupied. I'm actually very calm. And then that's when, boom, they come right out and I see them. And yeah, it scares me because I'm like, oh my God, you're not supposed to be there. But that's how you actually can see a ghost. You have to calm your mind. Quit straining yourself so much. And it's the same theory about meditation. People who are trying to force it too much, you're gonna struggle for a long time trying to meditate. And you have to just calm yourself. When you're calming yourself down and you're not super, and it might be hard to explain, but some of you guys, I feel like some of you guys will understand what I'm saying, because you have to be somebody who's really aware of your emotions, and you have to be aware of like how to do it. But it's just kind of like when you're trying to relax and you know you don't want to be disturbed, you just want to be by yourself, you know, it's kind of like that feeling. But imagine yourself out in the world and you're bringing that feeling to yourself and you're calming down. That's when you'll actually see them, because they're not going to come out based off of your energy. If your energy is too crazy, they don't come out. So that might help anybody who's doing ghost hunting. If you're trying to look for a ghost when you're ghost hunting, quit being all crazy, okay? Like, I know people who get drunk and they try and go ghost hunting. Some of them will actually attract the bad ones. I'm just saying. And I know a lot of people won't do ghost hunting because they're afraid of attracting the bad ones. You know, that could happen. That's why we're going to go into the next part, which is about protecting yourself. So basically, I'm going to talk a bit about your theories on protecting yourself. And I've been getting a lot of questions about this, especially if you guys are not an actually practicing shaman or anything like that. You don't know anybody. I'm just going to tell you guys, if you are a shaman or if you know of a shaman and you have easy access to one, what you guys can do is have them tie a string on you. That is a really easy way. And the water on their shrine, it's really good holy water. So if they spray that on you or if you take 3 sips from it, it's really good. Especially if suddenly you're sick and you're not sure if you're really sick or if it's a spiritual sickness, it's good to drink the water from the shaman's shrine. Now, moving on. Also, somebody who knows black magic and who knows how to evoke the magic from a string, you can also do that method too. Some people will use like those metal bracelets and stuff like that. That you need to evoke magic on it. Some people believe that the metal alone is good enough to protect against certain spirits. Now, that is only up to some points. So now we're going to go into, let's say you're not a shaman, so what should I do? So, a lot of people confuse the cleaning of the house. So cleaning of the house, typically for Hmong people in particular, and a lot of other ethnic people, they have this belief as well. So they like to clean the house before they move in to make sure that any spirits or unwanted whatever juju goes out of the house before they move their stuff in. That theory only works for lighter things, okay? Like if it's something kind of dark and scary, it is not going to leave just because you sweep the house. So keep that in mind in the case that you honestly don't believe something could be happening in the house because you've already cheche. And people typically cheche, cleaning of the house, at least once a year, either when they move in and then again during the new year time. So when it's the new year, that's also when you clean and sweep the house, and then you raise up the saka again, if you're traditional. Now, other ways is going to be, some people confuse, so you know like those strips of money paper that you might see above wall, like doorways and stuff like that? Some people will use little coins that they put between 2 pieces of wood and then like a cloth there too. That's a form of kakong, and that's actually part of the saka, and that's really just for money and good luck to the family. So if you see that, don't be afraid. So that's just like a luck thing. Because you guys know, like for the Chinese, when during the new year, they put up all those symbols and red things with letterings on there. That's for like prosperity and wishing good things for them in the future. So that's the same kind of theory. Now, other methods of protection. So the saka is a really, really good one. And I'm going to also tell you guys if you guys don't have a saka. So if you have a saka, what people typically do is they light up incense sticks underneath it or in front of it, whatever space you have. Don't bump the saka though, okay? Don't touch the saka. But that's like how people would typically do it, in front of it or underneath it. Depending on what type of saka that you have. If you just have the flat piece of paper against the wall, you're going to burn it on the bottom. On the floor, like you have like a little stool or a little table, like push an end table up to it or something, and then that's where you would burn your incense sticks, and then you pray out loud to the saka. So that's one way of people praying to the saka. But if you guys don't have one, a lot of people, some people, they will burn incense sticks and money, joss money that I mentioned for the spirits. They will burn that outside for their ancestors too, for protection. Now, the knife theory. So a lot of people ask about the knives because people, when they have nightmares, a lot of Hmong people in particular, they'll sleep with a knife under their pillow. Hopefully not a sharp one, but try to find one that's kind of dulled or dull one and then put it there. You can also put it underneath your bed if you want. Some people will put it in their car because they believe it will protect bad entities in case you get into an accident or something. So I'm going to tell you guys the truth about the knife theory. Since the beginning of time for Hmong shamans, they've used knives. Now, the whole theory behind that, and the reason why you don't need a shaman to hand you a knife, you don't need black magic on the knife. You can, definitely. You can do the shaman and the black magic on the knife. But the whole reason behind the knife thing is so that when the ghost sees it, it gets scared. But y'all really want to know what happens? The ghost keeps coming. Okay, it's kind of like the corn and the peach branch theory and the pepper. I'll get into that. It will scare the ghost at first, but for anybody who has had the knife theory, they realize the bad dreams come back in time because the ghost keeps trying. It will keep trying, but every time it sees the knife, it gets scared. But what happens when you keep seeing it? And it's not doing anything every time you keep seeing it. It's no longer scared of the knife. because there's no shaman swinging it around. That's why he's no longer afraid of the knife. So that's when the knife theory falls through. If the bad dreams happen again and the knife is still there and it's gone through, it's now past it, that's when you should seek out a shaman and for somebody to get rid of it. That way you don't have to deal with it anymore. That's the truth behind the knife theory. And that's why it doesn't work forever. So the whole theory behind the corn and the peach branches and the pepper, all it does is it whips the ghost. It's kind of like, you keep bugging your crush and your crush tells you, ew, go away, or they push you. You're still going to keep trying, aren't you? Because you're kind of crazy. Like, that's the same thing. So, like that, it's, if you were stuck in a corner and the ghost was there, sure. I mean, who really, like, I don't know anybody who just has a bag of corn laying around, tons of pepper, and peach branches. Like, I live in Minnesota. We don't have peach trees here, okay? So I don't really know where you guys are getting these things from. Maybe some really devout families might have them around. I don't know. Let me know if you guys actually have this stuff just sitting around your house. But I don't have that. In my entire life, I have never used it. I've never even used the knife theory underneath my pillow and stuff like that. Because I would still get bad dreams regardless. And even when I was a shaman, I would always have demons in my dreams because they're trying to always test and teach me. So I would always get those anyway, so it doesn't matter. Now, I'm probably a little biased though against the whole peach thing and corn because it's a temporary fix. It's not gonna kill them, and it's better to just kill them. Okay, so that's why. I have found that I'm a lot more tolerant of ghosts now, though, that I'm no longer a practicing shaman. I'm a lot more tolerant of them. I just ignore them. When I was a shaman, though, everything was, oh, I gotta kill you. Oh, I just gotta kill you. And for anybody who, okay, let's say you don't have a sakai, you don't have a shaman, you're not gonna do none of that. What you could do, especially if you're about to go to a lake or you're about to go and travel somewhere, pray. You don't have to pray to Christianity or anything like that. I'm not telling you you should go to church. But if you're scared, go to church, okay? But you can just pray. Pray to yourself. And the reason why I say that, so people who go out and then they where they lose a spirit or something follows them, it's because your spirit isn't strong. It's chika. And the whole point why you try to protect yourself is so that you don't get scared. So if you pray in advance, it's kind of like you telling your spirit and everything about yourself, be aware, have your guard up so that wherever you go, you're going to be okay and you're going to be protected. And that the whole point of that magic in general, it's supposed to just protect you as a whole individual. Because if you don't think about things and you don't prepare yourself, when you go and something does scare you, you will lose your spirit because you didn't prepare yourself. And it's really weird how I get prepared because I'm that person who doesn't pray. I'm not taking my own advice. So, because, okay, like when I go outside at night to, take out my trash or something like that, right before something happens that's going to scare me, I have these weird visions. And then right as it happens, where the actual thing in real life happens and it scares me, they've already warned me so that I don't get scared. So I actually have my guides who tell me. But I'm just saying, because like the other night I was outside and as I'm walking back, I started to feel kind of paranoid. So then they started telling me this story in my head. And they were telling me the story, and this is how crazy this story is. The story was, I started running to the door and somebody tried chasing me and I slammed the door on them where they couldn't get in, and then I started calling 911. And then the person who was trying to chase me actually got scared and took off, right? Right as that story finished, I hear boom, 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 like really loud. And it's like dark, it's nighttime, I'm out there in the alleyway alone and I hear it, right? So it scared me. But then it was just the neighbor with their garage. So that is what they are always doing to prepare me, right? But not everybody's going to have that. So just always, if you're going to go to a new place, if you're driving to a new neighborhood or a new town or something like that, and you're not really certain and you just want to make sure you're going to be okay, just pray to yourself. And the same theory happens and it's the same thing if you're going out to the lake. And I had somebody who has messaged me and they like to go kayaking and all that super fun stuff. I love to do those kind of things, even though there's dragons like around bodies of water. I love to go kayaking, paddle boarding. I love to go canoeing. I love to go sailing. I do all of those things. You just pray to yourself before you go. That way, as you're on the body of water, you don't become too afraid where you'll lose your spirit. You know, a lot of my bung brothers, they love to go fishing. So I'm gonna let you guys know, if you are at a body of water and you start to get a scared feeling, no reason. There's nothing coming at you. You're just out there. But then all of a sudden your heartbeat picks up a little bit and you start to feel a little uncomfortable. Something is watching you. That's why. But if you're out there and you're totally relaxed and you're just loving it, you're fine. They're not looking at you. That's all. Now, the last thing I'm going to say that is a for sure, 1000%. This theory I'm about to say may shock you, but it's the breast milk theory. That's right. Drink breast milk, you guys. So just saying that in general, I had a viewer who made a comment to me and it made so much sense. I never saw it that way, but they were like, they like how I really nonchalantly mention things because it's so normal to me. But then as I was going to say it, I was like, I took myself outside of my whole world. And I imagined if I heard somebody telling me to drink breast milk to protect myself, I'd be like, what? So yeah, breast milk works. I'm just letting y'all know. So don't get a random stranger's breast milk. I mean, like, if you go to a shaman, it's going to be a random person's breast milk. So shamans love to hear when a woman is pregnant because they would like some breast milk, please. And shamans get a ton of breast milk. Like, it's amazing. I used to have a lot of breast milk in my freezer. So shamans will only accept breast milk from people they know because, you know, health reasons. You don't really know what that person might have in case it's in the breast milk. So they want to make sure they know who the individual is. Typically, it's their children, a family member, a close family member, and then they will accept the breast milk. And shamans are willing to pay for breast milk too. So if you're a pregnant person and you know somebody who is a shaman, ask them. You're like, oh, did you need some breast milk? Because it works. Okay. Like, I remember the first time my teacher offered me breast milk. I was like, how do I say no without being rude? And then I tried to say no. And my teacher laughed at me and she was like, you think you're the only person who's ever said no? And nobody likes doing it, okay? Nobody. I got used to it though. So breast milk, okay, you're not doing shots of straight up breast milk. So what shamans do is they get breast milk, they put it in a container and they freeze it. And then when the situation arises, and typically if you're being possessed by something, if something demonic is following you, if you're feeling really lethargic and sick, and you're not sure if it's actually a flu or if it could be a spiritual thing, and if your house is haunted, they will use breast milk. So typically what happens is we have a container and we freeze the breast milk. And when people come over, I would open up the container and I don't fill the container all the way with breast milk. So I leave a portion of it open so that way when people come over and they need it, I will run hot water in there and I close it. And then I shake it up and then I pour it out into a cup. And then that is the remnants. Really, that's what it is. It's not straight up breast milk. It's just hot water that's touched the breast milk and it's kind of taken some of it. And you can also dilute it with more water as well. And so what a lot of shamans will do is they'll have you take 3 sips of it, or else they will actually take it into their mouth and spray it all over you. So they will do that as well. And for me, and I've known people too who's actually gone through this experience and they did the whole breast milk thing and they didn't want to. When it hit them, they actually felt so much better. So I honestly do believe in the breast milk theory. Same thing if a house is haunted, they would do the same kind of a thing where they would spray it around the house. And it's kind of like the whole whipping thing because demons and ghosts and everything, they're really, really afraid of breast milk. So you could do that. Now, as far as just cleansing yourself, okay? So I've been asked if you're not sure if it's like a real illness or if it's a spiritual thing. I'll tell you how you can find out. To find out if it's a spiritual thing, if you take, it's basically joss money, and you cut them into strips, and you need 3 of them. And what you're going to do is in a bowl of water, over a bowl of water, you actually burn it. So take a lighter and light it up, and don't burn your hands, of course, and then drop it into the water. And then you take 3 sips from that water. Try to avoid the ashes. Don't drink the ashes. Some people are really devout and they'll drink the ashes. Like, I will sometimes take a spoon and try to purposely get no ashes. So you can do that too. So you take 3 sips from that. And then that water, you can also throw it around yourself and kind of wash yourself with it too. If you feel better, like instantly better, it is not the flu or anything like that. It is a spiritual sickness. Now, the other theory is the fire theory. So let's say you don't have any, and the whole joss money thing with the water, that it creates a holy water. It's not as holy as the water on the shaman's shrine, but it's holy water. So then the other theory is the fire one, and that is where you have a gas fire, a gas stove, and you turn it on, and over the flames, not in the flames, okay, don't burn yourself. You just kind of want to wash your hands over it, and then also leave your hands over the fire a little bit so it gets hot, and then you just kind of wash yourself with the flame. And when your hands cool down, you go back and get some more heat and then just do it again. So if you feel better from that, it is also going to be a spiritual illness. It's not going to be, you're just sick. Of course, if you do all that and you're still sick, yeah, definitely, it's just you're sick. So those are methods that people do to clean themselves, especially before touching a baby and everything like that. Definitely do your hands. Make sure your dirtiness ain't gonna affect the baby. All right, you guys, so that's it for this video. Man, I talked a lot. And into our next video, we're going to talk about teachers and students, and I'm going to explain to you guys why I refuse to take any more students. And I do feel, just to leave this video off, I do feel in the future I'm going to have a boy student for some reason. I feel like there's going to be a boy, and I don't know why, and I'm going to try to fight it. Y'all best believe I'm going to try to fight it. But I do sense him around for some reason. Like, there's a boy there. So that is it for this video. Until next time, you guys.